Life is short. I don't know whether it's the age that somehow when we get and we realize, wow, life is short because, how many more years do I have left? When you're young, you kind of don't think about that. But when you get older, it's like, wow, how do I really want to be spending my time? Who do I really want to be spending my time with? What do I really want to be doing? And it's not so much the I as the ego. You ask that, but then notice how you answer that. If you are answering it from that sense of the little self, or whether or not you then invite life, what do you want from me? Because that's the spiritual commitment and the spiritual life, is asking, what does life want from me now? And there may be a few things that the little me wants still, and there's no point in fighting it, because sooner or later it will come back. It'll just keep on creeping back in. But to end the suffering is to begin to ask yourself, what does life want from me? To be that open channel, to be that bamboo, right? When I spoke about the bamboo in the movement class, where we are the hole in the flute in which life's breath creates through. And that's our commitment. If we want to wake up fully, that's our commitment, to be that hole in the flute, so that we become one with life. And as Eckhart has been speaking this retreat, where the human being merge together. Because we're not going to get away from being human. We're in body, that's it. We're in body. But there's something else. We're that hole in that flute, the beingness here. And then from this place, we walk our life. We do our life. If there's any doing. And there will always be doing. Just as we practice in movement, where we access that dimension of stillness within, the beingness in us, but yet staying connected to the being, then we practice the doing. We do the doing while practice being. And that access is in you. And that's where we feel it. We feel it in ourselves. Because that's where you directly experience it. And that's when we experience that, when we feel that hole in the flute, then there is no separation between that hole and this body and everything out there. And that's the transformation of human consciousness. That's our flowering. And my recommendation is not to rush that flowering, because we miss each stage. And I know what that experience is like, to want to rush, It's that clamping sort of feeling. We get contracted because we're not satisfied with this moment. This moment is not good enough. And that's the mind that keeps on doing that. So it'll say that, and it might come up every now and again. But we're learning that spiritual discernment between what is the hole in the flute and what is then our minds just doing what it does. And the more that we can rest in that space of the hole in the flute, the more we realize when we are in our minds. So we do our practices, meditation, a movement meditation. And what is meditation? It's simply awareness. Awareness that you are aware. We're always aware of something, some object out there. But once you see that there are objects out there, it's like we shift this attention in us from the attention out there to the attention, turn it around, to the attention in here, like who, what is aware?